Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is the game between uThermal and Hydra on Galactic Process, the latter edition. In the top right side of the map, we have the red Zerg player, it is Hydra from Root Gaming. And in the bottom left side of the map from AT Gaming, it is the blue Terran player uThermal. So this is from WCS Copa Internacional, which I think means International Cup, but I don't speak Spanish, so let me know if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that I'm right just because those are cognates. And let's get right on into it. A ZVT here on Galactic Process, the latter edition. I have had some complaints recently from a couple of you subscribers saying, I don't see a lot of turn wins against Zerg recently, and I don't know what to tell you, man. For a while there, it seemed like Terrans had a pretty good handle on this matchup in Legacy of the Void. They got ghosts for the Ultras. They really took care of them fairly well, using that steady targeting ability. But then Zerg players figured out Banelings, Fungals, things to mess up that steady targeting ability of ghosts, really lowering their effectiveness, and overall just causing huge problems for Terran once those Ultras came out. So we will see how uThermal decides to deal with this. Again, I feel like Liberators are a good way to deal with Ultras. I've seen some good success that way. I've seen a lot of tanks do a great job against Ultras as well, depending on their positioning, which again is not easy. It's not an easy thing to do, but I'm just going to tell you it is possible. So Reaper Expand here from uThermal. This Reaper's name is Eddard Stark. You might recognize that name. The Dominion convicted him of treason under controversial circumstances and gave him the choice to either die or be banished to the Outer Rim worlds, to live as a member of the Reaper Watch until death relieves him from his post. And he chose the latter. Oh, man, Eddard Stark. Oh, I miss that guy. I miss that guy so much. I mean, pretty much that's a spoiler, but it's Game of Thrones, right? Game of Thrones, a fantastic TV show I love so much. I count down the days till it shows up again on my calendar, and which isn't often because it's only like a 13-episode season, and it's once a year, and they're splitting the final season into 2 seasons. So we get like one 6-episode season, and then a year later, another 6-episode season. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I have to wait for 2 more years to see the end of this story? Ugh. It's going to be worth it, though. That's all I can say. It's going to be worth it. Lord Eddard Stark is here in the Outer Rim trying to kill Zerg in his banishment until he perishes. And he's actually trying to take down this hatchery by himself, which does not work out super well. Using that KD8 charge on Larva to kill them is always nice. Slowing down the production facilities of a Zerg is also a wonderful idea there. Although those are roaches. Whoa, more Reapers. uThermal's going the Mass Reaper build. Oh, I totally did not see that until now. He's going 3 Reapers at a time. We've seen him have great success against Snoot doing this in previous replays. I won't tell you who won that match, but maybe in the top right. Go check it out. I might put a link there if I remember. If not, just search for Snoot versus uThermal. I think on this very map within the last month or so, maybe 6 weeks. Anyway, if I remember to put a link there, it'll be easy to find. If not, then happy hunting. So here we go. uThermal cranking out those Reapers, still triple pumping them. There are Roaches out. There are Ravagers out. Oh, I feel like Ravagers are such a good choice in this situation with that extra range. See that? Extra range Roaches do not have. They don't have as many hit points, but again, Reapers don't do extra damage versus them, so it doesn't really matter if you have Ravagers out there instead of Roaches. Continuing with the Ravager production, not really making any more Queens is Hydra. He does have 2 of them. I feel like maybe more would be good, but you know what? Ravagers are better against Queens anyway. I'm not going to complain too much about that. Up here, trying to get anything. KD8 charges, trying to land down. Corrosive Biles trying to take shots off, not really working that well. uThermal might be transitioning out of this. He's now getting Stim. He's now getting a Factory. I think that might be it for uThermal. It is 24 to 35 total Harvesters. Hydra has been able to drone up while defending against this really, really handily. Got that Roach Warren down early. Got those Ravagers out early. And again, trying to point his push now is uThermal hopping up onto that high ground, losing a couple of the Reapers, knocking down Creep Tumors. That is something you want to see as well. And then just backing out to heal up on that combat drug. Finally expanding here, finally starting to mine from his natural base. I don't think he did enough damage, you guys. I really don't think it was enough. Back home, he's got a starport coming up. Hydra's continuing to make Roaches, getting another Queen, getting an Evolution Chamber, getting a 3rd base as well. Corrosive Biles landing, not hitting much of anything. Reapers are a little bit too quick, a little bit too tricky to hit with Corrosive Biles against a good player as uThermal is. APM for these guys is over 400 for each right now. Yeesh, over 500 for Hydra. He plays fast. He plays really fast, you guys. Missile attack level 1 being researched by Hydra. uThermal, on the other hand, is still getting that stim and transitioning into Marines. I assume we'll see a medevac here on that production tab eventually. But for now, we're just going to enjoy watching these Reapers led by their commander, Eddard Stark, who is probably dead by now, but I refuse to accept it. I've already been through that once. KD8 charges, knocking them roaches back. That's the problem. That zoning ability of the KD8 charge, just enough to keep the roaches back out of the range where they can actually hit the Reapers, is great. Then the Ravagers show up, and then their extra range really comes into play here, and Reapers start to die. So that's all uThermal can really do, is harass until the Ravagers show up, and then things kind of go to pot. A double engineering bay by uThermal being constructed for those upgrades for his bio units, continuing to make Marines. An Overseer morphing in right here for Hydra to get a quick scout out. Probably saw those medevacs shooping on up there. What is the sight range? Maybe. I don't know. While it's morphing, that sight range is actually pretty small. I'm not sure that Hydra saw that drop at all. But he's moving right on into the main base. And didn't see much of anything. Dropped to Changeling. There we go. Changeling can get some scouting done. Why are you going that way, Changeling? No, no, no. Scout the main. Are you... I don't know. Overseer's trying to do some stuff. Meanwhile, here's the drop at the third base. Right to the left of the main. Ravagers trying to deal with these Marines. Ravagers and Roaches slowly whittling down the Marine numbers. Losing some Ravagers in the process, though. Moving the wounded Ravager to the back is an excellent move. And here goes the medevac now into the main base. There's a Queen. There are 3 Roaches chasing those medevacs away. Another Reaper attack up here to the south of the natural, pushing on in, killing a Roach. But then 3 more Roaches show up. That's enough to shoot them away. Overseer for Hydra has not really scattered inside the main that much. Doesn't know about the starport. Doesn't know about the... I mean, he knows about it now because obviously medevac drops can't happen without a starport. But you know what I mean. Hasn't explicitly seen what's going on inside that main. Third base now landing for uThermal being constructed to the right of his main. More attempted drops here by uThermal, trying to fly around, trying to harass this third base, while all of the Reapers are taking shots directly to the face here. Eddard Stark trying to harass this fourth by Hydra to the south of his natural base, but there are only 5 of his Legion left, including himself, and it's just not looking good at all for our warrior. Burrow move being researched by Hydra. He's got Tunneling Claws and Burrow on the way, as well as 9 Roaches. The drop back here by uThermal at the third does manage to kill 3 drones. Nothing too extravagant. Oh, Queen does take down a medevac here inside the main base, but the Marines get their revenge, killing that Queen, moving right on into the main base. Bunch of Roaches pop out, though, at just the right moment for Hydra. Chase that guy away. And all the Reapers dead. I think all the Reapers are dead. Oh, Eddard Stark, we hardly knew you. Another drop back down here at the third base. No defense. More and more drones are dying. uThermal making it work with a very small number of units to this point. 12 drones in the last couple minutes. Let's take a look at that. Workers killed is 12 by uThermal. All of them very recent indeed. Medevac hanging out in this dead space between the main base and the natural base. Hydra has split his units. Some Ravagers here at the third, some Roaches here in the main. +1 ground carapace being researched, getting an infestation pit, getting some spore crawlers to deal with these incessant drops. uThermal dropping at an unprotected fourth base with these Marines. They have the stim, they have the +1/+1. That hatch is going to fall. These 4 Roaches that show up, 5 Roaches, not enough. The hatch explodes. Everybody gets out of there, I think. Maybe one of the Marines got killed, but that is pretty good casualty numbers for Hydra. Hydra with the burrow move Roaches moving right on in. They can't burrow move under buildings, though. uThermal has a nice wall protecting his natural base. Marines on the high ground take down an Overlord just over this fourth. Roaches and Ravagers trying to deal with that stuff. The Roaches are stuck. And there's a missile turret being constructed right behind this wall. So yeah, Hydra very wisely moves away before he gets spotted by that missile turret with its detection abilities. Marines killing a couple of Roaches. Corrosive Biles being tossed on down, not hitting the medevacs. A lot of Roaches coming up for uThermal. He's trying to burn down as many of these drones as he can. He gets one more, then picks up and runs away. Another drop inside the main base, just picking off drones like there is no tomorrow here by uThermal. And boosting away again, trying to cancel this fourth base, forcing a cancel on this newly constructed hatchery. And there's the cancel. Yes, there's the cancel. uThermal's been playing this so well. It is 62 to 49 Harvesters. uThermal has a lead at this point, despite what I would say the fairly ineffectual efforts of his Reapers in the early game. This mid-game harass, this drop stuff has been beautiful from uThermal. uThermal, is he going to force a cancel on that fourth again? He could. I guess there are some Roaches down there right next to it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right, so Hydra is here with his burrow Roaches, but there are tanks. There are some tanks from uThermal. He's got 2 of them. He's got 1 more in production working on that +2/+2 for the bio. I like this tank maneuver. He saw how many roaches Hydra was getting and decided to move on into tank, which is extra damage versus armored as roaches are. It's a brilliant move. I'm excited to see how that's going to work out. But Hydra going for them Hive. Getting +1 melee attack, getting +2 ground carapace. He didn't start that +1 melee early enough to really have his ultras ready to go. And fully upgraded when he pops them, but that's okay. I don't think he really needs that to happen. Anyway, tanks landing just outside the range of this 4th base. Roaches, Ravagers, Infestors, and Queens are here. Can he save the 4th base? Hydra needs to move in now. And he does throw down a fungal on the Marines here. It actually managed to take down a lot of the bio, but more reinforcements coming from the south side. The tanks splashing on top of everything, but there's a lot of Ravagers not taking that extra damage at all. A fungal growth on top of the siege tanks. And there must be another drop happening here as well, because yes, there's a drop here at the 3rd with some Marines. There's also a burrow roach attack here at the natural base. I gotta stop removing that mini-map. But here comes Hydra as he's pushing away this attack. This tank on the high ground has 3 kills, has 4 kills. uThermal trying to defend back home, not really microing that well here at the battle outside the 4th. And all of his units get destroyed there as well. Burrow move roach is continuing to cause problems in the main base, but I think uThermal cleaned them all up. And he did, but not after losing 14, or not before losing 14 SCVs. It's 50 to 61 Harvesters. Hydra retakes that lead, having killed 46 workers. No, Hydra's killed 14 workers. The uThermal's killed 46. What? He's killed 46 drones? How is he down? He's down because Zerg macro is really good if you're Hydra. Ultralisk Cavern on the way. It is building, according to that. A Marine and a Marauder drop heading up, making a beeline for this 3rd base. There's a single Spore Crawler here, but if he can take down that Ultra Cavern early enough, that might help him immensely. He's working on +3/+3 here at the 11-minute mark. That is very Polt-esque of him. Drop happening here at the 3rd as prophesied. They're going right after what? Trying to kill some Queens. Getting a free Infestor's nice. Getting that Ultralisk Cavern would be a good deal, but they want to kill this Queen instead. And they do. They get the Queen. They get a couple drones, maybe 1 drone there. I'm not sure it was a huge number. Into the main base. Queen taking it out. Oh, gets the dropship. There's the end of that. Big attack by uThermal here. Now he's trying to take down this Ultralisk Cavern. Can he get it? There are no Ultras in production. Oh, but free Infestors are always nice. Getting a scan up, trying to kill those Infestors, killing a couple of them. Getting the Ultralisk Cavern. Huge pickup there by uThermal. 143 to 165 total supply. It's Roach Ravager for Hydra. You know how I feel about Roach Ravager towards this mid-game. It doesn't do well, doesn't scale well, or stack up against +3/+3 Marines and Marauders, especially not with tank support. Tanks on the low ground here by the 3rd base, just splashing on all of these Ravagers. Corrosive Biles landing, trying to kill these medevacs, not doing a great job of it. Hydra is forced to retreat. He might just give up this 3rd. I don't know that he wants to, but I think he might have to. There's the scan. Corrosive Biles on top of this Destructible, which is not really destructible. It just kind of disappears when it gets attacked. But he's uThermal going for that 3rd. Can he get it? Yes, he's got the 3rd. He's trying to kill some drones here at first, but I think he's got it. uThermal go for the 3rd. He's definitely going after this 4th. There's no mining whatsoever. 13 more drones have died. uThermal gets fungal biled, losing a couple of those medevacs. He still has not killed the 3rd base. Roaches coming from the bottom do manage to clean up the rest of the attack at this 3rd, and the 4th gets cleaned up too by uThermal. Somehow Hydra held on to both of these bases despite the fact they were both under heavy assault. I'm not sure that uThermal was focusing on the hatcheries entirely, and that might have cost him. Oh no, Hydra. I mean uThermal. Oh no, uThermal. Chitinous plating on the way for Hydra has replanted that Ultra Cavern somewhere safer, I assume. Yeah, way back here in the main base. Harder to drop, that's for sure. And here comes uThermal trying to establish a 4th base of his own just to the north of his natural. Big attacker, Roach Ravager coming right on in for Hydra. It's 134 to 157 total supply. Good concave here from uThermal, but losing his medevacs to Corrosive Bile. A little bit of a sloppy move there from the Terran player. Where are his tanks? Does he have him? He's bringing SCVs. Trying to defend at the same time. Can he do this? His +3 attack is not finished yet. His +3 armor is not done either. He has some medevacs, some tanks on the high ground assisting against the Roaches and the Ravagers. And yes, uThermal does manage to push away this attack. Concussive shell slowing down the Ravagers so they cannot retreat. Single burrow roach does manage to escape here. And somehow uThermal held that off. It's 36 to 54 Harvesters though. uThermal is in a lot of trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Did he take down the 3rd when I wasn't paying attention? When did he do this? Hang on. Hang on. Sorry about this. Come on. Yeah, it's dead here at the 14-minute mark. When did he kill it? It's still dead. Just dead. 1348. Oh, it was a tank drop by uThermal. He takes down the third, picks up the tanks, and flies them back down to the newly created fourth of uThermal to save it. That's amazing. What a play by uThermal. Oh, that's where his tanks were. They were killing that third base. Brilliant. Brilliant indeed. All right, so +3/+3 is now done for uThermal. He's got his tanks. Army supply is 57 to 36. He has a very, very nice lead. That third base is gone for Hydra, but his fourth base is still up and running. I feel like a small attack, a small push by uThermal could end this fourth and end this game, possibly. Hydra does not have the army he wants, nor the tech that he wants here. He's making a couple ultras, but 2 ultras is not necessarily super scary for uThermal, who has a good, healthy complement of Marauders. He has some tanks here as well, so it's going to be Infestor Ultra. There's the Fungal catching these units, allowing the Ultras to crush on them immediately. The animations look broken. What is that? Why are the Ultra animations broken? I don't know, but one Ultra dies. Tank fire on top of the other one, kiting desperately here as uThermal takes down the Ultra. Can he get the Infestors? Yes! He gets both of the Infestors with that group, and that's the GG! Oh, GG from Hydra. Hydra is defeated. uThermal is victorious. What an absolutely brilliant game out of uThermal. One of my favorite Terran players, to be sure. That looked difficult, though. Didn't it look difficult? I mean, he had to drop simultaneous places throughout the entire game. He was dropping that third, he was dropping the fourth, and the natural. He got stuff into the main as he needed to. He ended up killing 59 workers of Hydras. In the end, it was still 55 to 36 workers for Hydra, but he didn't have the ability to save his fourth base. What he had left over here was 3 Ultras, 2 Roaches, and 2 Queens. It just wasn't enough. Liberator production had begun for uThermal. uThermal didn't have a whole lot either, but he just couldn't save that fourth, and with it, his mining potential was like, it was gone. It was just toast. So, well done by uThermal. Very proud of this victory today, and kudos to him. All right, so that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself. Thanks again to my patrons, 19 Day, Nicholas Cheek, Sean Govin, Nick Riley, Josh Cornelius, Jin, Pedro Batsardis, Robert Farmer, KN, Keith Garlow, Matt Meermans, Hekon Marcus, Christopher, Alex Coffey, Ben Raboin, Alexandros Konardis, Michael Wellen, Plaid, Complex, Clayton Knight, Ian Westbrook, Michael McIntosh, Jan Kodera, Bo Brissett, Kale Anderson, Pushpak Eledu, Trevor Smith, Men Haidayan, Rajiv Bhatt, Bakberti, and Sikopatara. All right. Thank you so much again. Link at the top right, and goodbye.